Hi, Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 24 of the May Daily Draws. So as we close out the weekend and approach a new week, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witcher, Beltane Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. And we'll go there. We have the Moon card, which in a way does connect with yesterday's card of the High Priestess. She was standing there before the moon. She had standing stones. She may have even been in the middle of them here with her table and, with her book. Who knows? It's similar, isn't it, to the setting of the High Priestess. Closer up, she could have been here with the moon behind her, or a very similar setting. And we were talking about intuition yesterday with the High Priestess. And the moon has an element of that, because the moon to me is all about the fact that we don't see everything clearly. There are things that are difficult to make out. There's something underlying that we're not seeing, but we may detect it with our intuition. And, we may not know all of the way forward, but we may know enough for the next few steps along the journey. We have the path here to make our way forward. We have the pillars here to guide us, to keep us on that path. All that intuitive knowledge and all the other senses that we were talking about yesterday will help us to walk this path successfully. And the balance between our natures, like the wild dog and the tame dog, that the wild aspects of our nature and the tame, calm aspects of our nature, working together, all of us, not just one part of us, but everything as a whole. We had the B card, didn't we, with the High Priestess yesterday, which was about not just relying upon one source or one thing, but going, like a bee goes from one flower to another to try and get as much input as we can. And that's what this card is saying too, in that sense, using every part of ourselves, including our intuition, because we may need to rely upon that, because the moon casts an eerie glow upon the scene and often can distort what we see. Sometimes it creates an illusionary sense of what's there, and it distorts our perception. The mind can play tricks on us with the different shadows and the eerie glow that fall upon objects and things, and we see things that aren't there. We form that in our minds, and we need to be careful that we don't see things that aren't there, and also to realize that there are things that we don't see that are there underneath the surface. So we may need to take an aspect of caution as we move forward. Not fear, but caution. Just to take it steady, not rush into anything, because we don't know. There may be things we don't yet know that if we rush ahead, we'll realize too late. And but if we go forward carefully but confidently, we can be careful and confident at the same time. Getting this duality here. We could keep both those things in play as we move forward. and things will become clearer. Our intuition will guide us. That's why we needed the message from the High Priestess yesterday. And we will forge our path forward. We will move forward. And the night will eventually end. The sun will come out, and we'll see more clearly more of how the situation is. Things will become, a lot clearer eventually. But for the time being, we go forward carefully and confidently, and listening to that intuition, which is so important because it connects us with what we don't yet see. So I feel that's the message of the Moon card. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Indulgence. Once again, we have the moon in the window. Isn't that interesting? You are worth every desire, every dream. Demand what is yours. Demand what you need. Indulge yourself a bit. She's taking a luxurious bath there, with under the moonlight. Sometimes we need to relax. I think I said yesterday when we were talking about intuition and the High Priestess, I said, go and relax, go and walk in nature or something, get outside, go and connect with the natural world. And as you connect with, with the seen world, you can connect to the unseen realm too. And as she relaxes here, again with her eyes closed, so she's going within, she's just letting the feelings, she's letting the warmth and the feeling of being in that bath and being comfortable. And she's probably listening to her inner self, letting her emotions, her imagination, and her intuition really come to life as she relaxes her physical self. And maybe that's what we need to be doing too, to relax our physical selves, to allow our inner selves to come forth and to flourish more. So take a nice bath, do something that pamper yourself, do something that makes you feel comfortable, indulge yourself in that. It's not wrong to do that. In fact, it's necessary if we're to be whole as people, as it's not selfish. And even if it is, a little bit of selfishness doesn't harm anyone when it's done like this, when it's done for self-care. So let's do that. Let's relax and open up to our intuition and our inner selves. Move forward carefully but confidently, knowing that in the end, clarity will come. The night will end, the daylight will come, and we'll be able to see our way forward more clearly. So until then, let's give ourselves to listening to our inner selves, and that will guide us through. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 25. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.